civil service or some other jobs or scientist jobs. So you need to have that basic qualification. You have to go through and understand what are the basic qualifications prescribed for that and what strategy has to be adopted. Some people who have already passed through, so you have to interact with them and understand the strategy, what books have to be read, how much duration is required for preparation and all. So you have to understand those things. Apart from that, so when you are studying in the degree, so are you doing all these things or not? If you are not doing, you may not be able to reach. It will be like a daydreaming. You may say that I want to become so and so, but you may not be able to do it. So this is part of the purpose. Second thing is, the colleges have to groom the students. By grooming means they have to build their character and make them interact. So interaction is very important. So many a time I often feel and tell that the present system is making us think that we don't have mind at all, because we are not able to think. We are not utilizing our mind. So thinking is very important. That is God-given gift to all. It is not that somebody is intelligent, somebody is not intelligent. So everyone has got that. So you need to utilize it. That God-given gift you have to utilize. Rich or poor, everyone has got it. So we need to utilize. That's why Shankaracharya says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the powerful. So you are all the powerful persons or powerful students. You need to realize your internal strength. You need to realize that you are also born with the same material and you can do wonders. Only thing is you have to utilize. If you do not utilize, you may not be able to do it. So in the college, actually higher education, even of course in the secondary and all, you have to make the students interact. So less of textbook or curriculum oriented discourse should be there. More on interaction should be there. So interaction makes people to refine their skills and also learn something, unlearn something also. I'll give a simple example. I'll illustrate how thinking pattern will influence certain things. So drought is not new to India. So drought has been there. So, but we have not invented drip irrigation. So maybe somebody has not thought in that direction. So we have not analyzed it in depth. So drip irrigation used generally, so leads to lot of wastage of water. If water is required by roots, why don't you give water only to the roots and not waste the water elsewhere through furrow irrigation or other method? Why so don't you give water only to the roots and they came up with a solution elsewhere. Why don't we give furrow irrigation or other methods? The root why don't you give water only to the roots and they came up with a solution? So that's how they why don't we give furrow irrigation or other methods? Why don't you so what I mean to say is pipes. So we came up with a solution. So that's how why don't we give furrow irrigation or other methods? Why don't so what I mean to say is say that we know but came up with a solution. So that's how why don't we get into specifics? Why don't what I mean to say say that we know but came up with a solution. So that's how why don't we get into specifics? Why don't what I mean to say that we know but came up with a solution. That's how why don't like Adi Shankara had a debate with Mandana Mishra and them. Yeah. So like that, the lecture, the college has to had a debate with Mandana Mishra more of these kind of activities. So that the children will so like that and informal. The lecture, the college has to had a debate with more encourage more of the second thing is so that the children will so like that and informal. Personal the college has to had a debate with more encourage more of the second thing is grooming the children. So like that and informal. Personal the college has to had a debate to help encourage. Second thing, to keep their health and fitness intact. So that is also very important. Second thing, so college can be used their health and platform to promote all these things. So if you most of you will be having bikes at home, so what do? So annually you'll be servicing it. So you'll be cleaning it regularly. Similarly, of course, physically we'll be cleaning through bath and all. So we need to learn some yoga or meditation and all. That will help you in maintaining our mental health and all. So these are all the things the college has to groom among the students so that they'll be better. So after getting into job, so most of them will be looking for yoga courses, meditation courses and all. That can be part of the college level education itself so that they are well prepared. So my request is that students should know the purpose and the lecturer in the class has to ask what is the purpose for which they are coming. It is like taking the order from the consumers or customers in the hotel. So the person will not serve everything. So will take the order and serve accordingly. Similarly, we need to identify what is the purpose. And if we do not have the resources, we need to bring the proper resource through career counseling or otherwise. So accordingly, we need to cater to the needs of the student. This is what I thought I can share with the students. So my request is the earlier you analyze the purpose for which you are coming, so the better it will be for you to travel in your life and all. So anyone has got any query or other things, if you can type in the chat box, I'll reply.
Thank you, sir, for that very inspiring deliberation on multidisciplinary, cross-functional and comprehensive facet of education. From Italy to idealism, you spellbound us every second of your talk. Be it your delightful culinary analogies or your draught examples, you definitely drenched us with knowledge. And as a good talk always generates a huge number of questions and discussions, our chat box is getting flooded up with questions. So people can reserve your questions for the interactive sessions, or you might type your questions in the chat box, which will be taken up. Thank you, sir. You've definitely satiated our hunger for knowledge.
Thank you, sir. Shanti, we'll go to the next one.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, sir, maybe we'll wait for the audiences to type their questions in the chat box and WhatsApp group, which we can
Yeah, ma'am.
which
As
we can take up during the interactive session, sir. So, with
yeah,
your
fine.
permission,
Sure,
thank
ma'am.
you,
We
sir.
can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Um, so, with sir's permission and without further ado, let us move on to our technical sessions. We have two scintillating lectures on diverse fields of positivity, nutrition, and progress, which we hope will enable the participants to augment their perspectives on adaptability and accomplishment within the premise of education. I take immense pleasure in inviting Dr. Subhatra Prabhu, career and educational consultant from Dubai, who will be discussing on resilience for positivity and optimism during challenging times. Dr. Subhatra Prabhu, a proud alumni of Bharatidasan Government College for Women, Pondicherry, holds PhD, MPhil, MSc degrees in Human Development from Avinashi Lingam University, Coimbatore, which a rich teaching and research experience her interest and expertise areas include guidance and counseling, curriculum development, and organizational behavior. A recipient of Siksha Ratan Purakshar Award from IIFS Delhi for her outstanding contribution in the field of education, she has recently received the Naveen Ashar Kazi Award in Oman. Madam, looking forward to hear your lecture. You may please take on.
Thank you, Dr. Shanti. Uh, Good morning to one and all. Today, my topic is on resilience for positivity and optimism during challenging times. So, the pandemic has no doubt influenced us in an overwhelming fashion, both physically and mentally. So, I feel the topic is more apt today than ever before so that we can build our resilience skills and pull us through these turbulent times. So let me start my presentation. I'll share my screen so that we have some visuals as well, and you will be able to connect with me. So I will run through the entire presentation, and as communicated earlier during the discussion, if there are any questions that you would want to ask me, you can go ahead with it. Give me a minute to share my presentation. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Subhadra.
Okay. So as I told you, we will go ahead with the topic on resilience. So if you focus on this entire presentation, though I'm going to specifically talk about the context in this pandemic situation, I'm also going to run through all the kind of different challenges that we face in life. Because a challenging time, we cannot say that it is only because of the pandemic. Probably it is because we have not built in our resilience over a period of time, even to cope up or adapt or emerge successfully for simple challenges in life. Because we have missed out on that, it becomes too challenging for us to meet up with a situation like that of a pandemic. So I'm going to draw life examples of people who have shown resilience not only during the pandemic, but otherwise also, so that you can emulate them and build up your resilience. Okay, the next thing which I want to tell you is that all over the world, we are hearing about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In fact, the term VUCA world is what it is told as. There is complete volatility. People feel that we don't know what's going to happen the next moment. There is uncertainty. Everything, even a simple task, seems to be so complex. And there is ambiguity, no surety of how things are going to go on. So when we are bombarded with all of this, how do you feel? How do you feel? Means there are a range of emotions and reactions that we might express. But you have to understand one thing. Though we live in the current scenario in the VUCA world, that is with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, if we have a clear vision, if we have proper understanding and clarity of thought and agility, that is flexibility, we will be able to run through this difficult stage and come out successfully. Let me give you a very, very simple example for this. Usually I interact with many students. So I was asking them, so how are things going on? So the college students, in fact, one of the second year students said that, ma'am, college life na nalla jolly I thought it would be fun and all that. I have really missed out. 1 year, my first year has gone. The second year, I don't know how it is going to be. So I have missed out on all the fun and joy. So for one student, it was like that. So she was looking forward to have all the fun and joy. Of course, that's also a part of college life because they always compare it with school life and think that this is what college life is all about. So what I'm trying to say is that you might have missed out on the fun and joy, but you should have a clear vision. We have to go to college, as it was very beautifully explained in the keynote address. What is the purpose? The vision should be very, very clear. Whether we are able to achieve our vision of acquiring the knowledge, the skill, and the expertise. So you have a clear vision. And instead of telling that there is so much of uncertainty, that second year has gone on like this, don't know what's going to happen in the third year, have a clear understanding. Yes, this is how the situation is right now. We are not able to do much about it, but still the learning gap is filled in. Means there are sessions being taken, remote learning, teaching is happening. So we have a clear understanding of the situation and we capitalize on the existing conditions and make use of it productively. The next one is in terms of complexity. If it is a complex situation, like for example, none of us have been used to these kind of remote teaching and learning. So in that situation, we have to have a clear understanding as to how we can master our technical skills so that we will not miss out on acquisition of knowledge and skill. So the clarity of thought should be there. And of course, the agility, the flexibility, I cannot say no. I have done my doctorate, I have done everything. My lectures are wonderful. I can teach only if there are students in front of my eyes sitting physically. So as a teacher, if I'm going to say that, it is not going to make sense in the current scenario. In the same way as a student, if you think just coming to college is coming there, having fun, that is not the case. Of course, I'm not refuting the fact that socialization is an important part of it, but in terms of priority, there are other things as well. So whatever is manageable, whatever can be done, we have to focus on that and ensure that we come out of this situation in a very, very peaceful manner, at the same time minimize the loss. So that is what I'm trying to say with the help of this entire presentation. Okay, now the topic says resilience, but some of them are not able to comprehend what this term resilience itself is. So I'm going to tell you what is the meaning or the definition of resilience and why is it so important for us to build our resilience. Is it that we have to build resilience only during this pandemic situation, or is it that it should be built in within us so that we will be able to meet the life challenges throughout? The third question is resilience innate? Is it an inborn human trait, or is it that something which each one of us can acquire? And if it can be acquired, how can we build it so that we can handle challenges in times of adversities and uncertainties? And finally, how do we maintain good mental health? This is also very, very essential. So all these questions are going to be addressed in the presentation. So first I spoke about VUCA world. Now I have explained to you what are the things that we are going to see in this particular presentation. Okay. Resilience is nothing but the process of adapting well in the face of life challenges, in terms of any adversities, uncertainties, trauma, tragedies, or significant sources of stress. It means bouncing back from difficult experiences. Let me give you a simple example of this. Resilience means bouncing back, irrespective of what the scenario or the situation is, be it challenges, adversities, natural calamities, uncertainties, any serious medical trauma issues, somebody has passed away, tragedies, or any significant source of stress. Why am I saying significant source of stress? Because an event which is very stressful for one person might not be very stressful for the other person. I have seen this as a teacher. A student who gets 98% out of 100 is more stressed than a student who has got just 20 out of 100. Because that student says, it's okay, ma'am, let me give it a try next time. And that person who has got 98%, that student tells me, ma'am, just because of 2 marks, I couldn't get the center. So the stress is how we perceive it. It is not the situation or the event itself. So whatever it is, we have to bounce back. And when we bounce back, that is called as resilience. Like, for example, now this is a rubber band. You pull it, okay? It's under immense stress, okay? You leave it back. It comes back to its original position, okay? It has sustained some amount of stress because I have stretched it, but it is again coming back to its normal condition. In the same way, if you take this ball, okay? This ball, I'm putting it under immense pressure now. Okay, you can say I'm putting it under immense pressure, but when I'm leaving it slowly, it is coming back to its original position. So same, if I bounce it, probably you will not be able to see it on the screen. Put it down, it bounces back. So resilience is nothing but bouncing back from difficult experiences. So you have to understand one thing. As beautifully said, life is not about how fast you run or how high you climb, but how well you bounce. The modern definition of resilience: advancing despite adversity. How would you advance? When you have clear goal and you work towards your vision. Be proactive means you have to foresee. In fact, that is an important quality of every individual, especially a leader should possess it. What is that is coming? You should be able to foresee it and prepare yourself for that particular situation. There are certain things which aren't within our control. So in those cases, we need not feel bad or guilty. We rise up to the occasion. But if we know that there is something which is going to impact us, then we have to proactively work on it so that we will be able to deal with the situation much better. Very simple example. We know that the exam is coming. We got to prepare ourselves for the exam. We cannot sit till the last day and say we are running short of time. This is always the case I have seen in many students. They say, ma'am, if I've had just 2 hours, I would have revised that portion. We always feel we are short of that 2 hours. And even while working, I have seen, because people are not able to plan out and work things properly, they do not have the resilience and things of that sort. They become too stressed when they have to meet a particular deadline. Always they say, ma'am, can I have a day more? Can I have 2 days more? Something has cropped up in between. In the work atmosphere also, just because you have been given an assignment doesn't mean that the other assignments are not going to come through. You will have to ensure to fulfill all the deadlines. So how do you work around? Foresee that there will be few more which will be coming so that you're well prepared for the most important deadlines, complete the task. It's an important quality that you have to possess and be proactive so that you rise up to the occasion and meet the needs. The last word is adversity. Again, when I say adversity, it can be a very small challenge which happens in life, every day, day-to-day life, or it can be a larger one. In fact, to give you a very simple example, when women come to me for counseling, now the situation has become even more challenging. When everybody had to work from home, in fact, I found young mothers quite happy. They were saying that, ma'am, now we are more relaxed. We can take care of the family and also the work because we need not go and we need not bother about our children and things of that sort. But now the same mothers have turned back to me and they have said that, ma'am, it's become too challenging because my children are perennially hungry. Full time I am doing cooking at home. The husband is also at home working, so I have to take care of that, my work. And finally, what is happening? I am not able to contribute as much. because I have to take care of all the needs of others. So this is a very simple challenge, but it has become blown out of proportion, that they are unable to manage it, and to a certain extent they had tried to manage it, but beyond that they have not been able to, so they do come for counseling. So when we say adversity, it is not a simple or a single thing. It can be a bigger thing, a larger thing, or a much bigger thing, but it depends on the person who is being through it and how he or she perceives that situation or challenge. Okay, I do want to give you some examples where you can see people who have been really resilient. For example, Edison had failed 10,000 times before inventing the electric light bulb. And he was an extraordinarily resilient person because he had a positive perception of life, and that is how his ability to become an inventor has been accomplished. See the way he has beautifully said it. I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So this is about Edison. I'm going to give you 3 more other examples, all from different walks of life. You would have heard about J.K. Rowling, okay, Harry Potter books. So she is saying it beautifully. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you failed by default. So in everybody's life, we will be facing challenges. We will be facing some disappointments. It's a part and parcel of life. If somebody says that they have planned it so well that they have not met up with any of the challenges or failures in life, either they are faking it, they are not telling the truth, or their life has not been worth living. That's what I would say. Because you can see J.K. Rowling, before she published the series of Harry Potter novels, she was penniless, she was depressed, divorced, and she had to take care of her child on her own while she was attending the graduate school and she was writing a novel. And it was, she was depending on the welfare scheme to survive, but she had immense determination, and through sheer hard work, she became one of the richest women in the world in a span of just 5 years. You can understand, probably you can imagine the kind of tenacity and the kind of resilience she has put herself through to come out of the situation and emerge successfully. So this is from the literature point of view. Now, coming over to sports, Michael Jordan, he had said, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 800 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed it. I have failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. So as I had told you, it is not how many times you failed. When do we say a person has failed? When they choose not to rise back. That time we say that person has failed. Till then, they are still trying. So the success is on the way. That's how you should look at it. And now coming over to the technology point, if you see Narayan Murthy's first venture, Softronics, many of you wouldn't have known about this as well, failed in about a year and a half of its start. And after the failure of his first venture, Narayan Murthy joined Patni Computer Systems and worked there for about 5 years. And then only he founded Infosys in 1981. And the rest is history, you all know. So all these people have made it. We see only what they have accomplished, but the resilience they have put through is a clear lesson for us to emulate. What are the domains of resilience? I told you what is meant by resilience, the meaning of it. And also I would want to let you know what are the domains of resilience. First is having a clear vision, the composure, the temperament, the reasoning, why I have failed. I'm not saying that you fail and sit back. Each failure, you should take the learning, the mistakes that you have done, what is the learning from it, and ensure that you don't repeat. This is another thing I always tell people when they come for counseling. We be through difficult times because we do not learn from our mistake. There was one lady who said, it becomes too challenging for me to get to work. She was working in a bank. So I was asking her, what is that so challenging? Your husband is going for work. Children are going to school, you're going to the bank. So what is so challenging? Then she says, Madam, every time we leave out of the house, I have a big fight with my husband. I asked her, what is the problem? She was saying she is driving, her husband is driving to his office. Every time this car key becomes an issue. Not once has my husband picked up my car key and given because I have left it in a specific place. I pick it up and go. But we move at the same time. So there is so much of tamasha at home when we leave because he is not able to locate his car key and he keeps shouting and screaming and all that because I have to find out for him. So this becomes an issue. It is actually nothing, but it becomes an issue at home, and I'm not able to concentrate when I'm driving or getting back to work. I'm not able to focus because he speaks so much. When I say he speaks so much, it is not only about the car keys issue. I'm sure he will be bringing other issues as well. So the simple thing is reasoning. Okay, reasoning. Why is this? Because he is not able to leave the car key in a specific place. He is not able to pick it up in the morning. That is his problem, not our problem. All that you have to say is either you find out the car key, you pick it up, drive and go, or else sit at home. As simple as that. You take your car key and move off. So sometimes what happens is, what is the situation we leave? But we think of all the other things, what the other person has said. We don't find a solution to the problem. And every other day or every second day, we run through the same issue. So unless we learn from our mistakes or failures, we are unable to move on, or we will not be able to bounce back. Health is a very important thing, physical and mental health, which I'm going to take it up later in the presentation. The tenacity, the ability to bounce back, and also the ability to collaborate. Sometimes there are things which cannot be done single-handedly. You have to reach out and take help of others, collaborate to get the job done. So these are the domains of resilience, and you can see in all the four personalities in the examples we have seen, all of them had clearly, explicitly portrayed all the domains of resilience in them. They had clear vision, composure, reasoning, of course, good health, tenacity, and with collaborative skills, they have accomplished their goal. So the key is to accomplish the goal and work out strategies to achieve them. So what defines us is how well we rise after falling, and all these people are examples to it. Okay, now the question is, why should I build resilience? Do you feel there is a need to build resilience? The audience, can you just say, is there a need to build resilience? I've put it on full screen, so I'm not able to see the chat box. Probably you can unmute and you can say, why should you build resilience? One or two of you can respond. Why should I build resilience? Why should I build resilience? Am I audible to all? Am I audible to all?
Resilience is actually it helps you to hold power against various problems. You can rebound back during stressful conditions, and also when you have certain difficulties to
Excellent.
face certain problems. This is the
Excellent. Very
power.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It is mainly to bounce back. And if we do not have this particular skill, it becomes a bigger challenge because we will sink in. We don't want ourselves to sink in. So in order to prevent ourselves from sinking, it's important that we build resilience. And a wonderful response by one of the, from one, I don't know, student or faculty, probably, an excellent answer from the audience. So volatility, uncertainty, complexity,
Thank you, ma'am. I'm
ambiguousness.
actually Dr. Rajani from Home Science.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm Dr. Rajani from Home Science. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. So this is the new normal. So we got to live with it. There is no escapism. But To fight for change for tomorrow, we need to build in our resilience today. We need to prepare ourselves today so that the impact will be minimal on our emotional health, mental and physical well-being. I'm not saying that if there is a catastrophe, then you can be as still as water. It's not that what I'm trying to say. Definitely the impact will be there because we are all human beings and we do have emotions. But how we can minimize the impact and rise again, that is why we are seeing as to the importance of resilience, how you can build it, how you can cope, adapt, and finally thrive. So is resilience an innate trait? Is it that something that is inborn? Because then it's easy for people to say, no, that is some quality or trait that she has within herself. So she is able to manage the situation. Probably I have not, I'm not having that kind of a trait within me. It is genetic, it is inborn, inherent, innate, all that. So what I'm trying to say is, of course, it's an innate trait, but it can be an acquired skill as well. Because earlier, there was a debate whether it is an innate trait or is it something which can be acquired. Okay, so there was a lot of debate going on over it, and currently if you see, there is growing consensus that of course it is an innate trait, but it can be a skill which can be acquired. And they are holding many sessions both in colleges, in universities, and also in workplaces, so that people build up their resilience to meet up with the challenges both in their family life and also in the work front. Now, how can resilience be acquired? It can be acquired through learned behaviors, thoughts, and actions. And that's what we are going to see now. Strategies to build resilience. First is you have to take care of yourself. Keep connected. I know we cannot stay physically in touch, but there are several other ways in which we can stay connected to each other. We have ensured to maximize the potential of the technology for this purpose. So keep connected. And respect yourself. Always tell to yourself, I am okay. The more you engage in self-pity and feeling that I'm fit for nothing, I'm not good at anything, all the worst things comes to me, then it becomes a challenge for you. So respect yourself. Challenge your mindset. Means I'm telling you, set the bar high, have a dream so that your mind is occupied with chasing your dream, and have a mindset which is positive. Take a moment for yourself. Give yourself the time. You have been catering to all the requirements of all the family members and everything, but you need to have some time for yourself. And if there is an issue, and telling of students also, if there is an issue with your parents, with your siblings, or anybody for that matter, you talk things over, it will settle down rather than it putting pressure on you. And talking and communicating is very important right now because it's a huge stress buster. Get active. Probably you might not be able to go out, but there are other means by which you can keep yourself physically active at home. So try all these means. Making a difference, helping others, generosity, all these researchers have found out that these are the traits which gives a lot of happiness. So you can build in happiness by volunteering, by doing something, of course, within the prescribed norms, because that will also help you to build up your resilience, making feel yourself good. And look at the bright side. Always see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. See to it that there is something hopeful, okay, rather than seeing as everything gloomy, not good, things of that sort. Then be kind to others. As I told you, these are all the values which will help you to build in your resilience, because it will boost up your happiness. So obviously it will help you to become resilient and have a purpose and goal in life. Why I'm saying this is, sometimes I have seen, especially during the pandemic, because people are at home, they do not have a routine at all. They get up at whatever time, eat at whatever time, means the whole day goes on like that. Then they watch some TV, then after that they are on social media, they say all wonderful photographs of their friends, very happy and enjoying. Then they feel depressed, everybody is happy, only I am like this. So you have to understand, everybody projects only their best, and that is not true. Okay, so when you keep on looking at it, you only feel everybody is having a good life in comparison to you. So don't compare yourself. Instead, you have a goal and you have a routine so that you will be able to follow it up and you will be able to accomplish things in life which makes you feel good. Here again, give yourself me time. Engage children and spouse also in household tasks. This is mainly, for all those who are married and who are having a family. There, you have to ensure that everybody has a role to play in the family. Otherwise, the burden sits on one person, and that becomes too overwhelming. It becomes challenging at this time. If you're a student, please help your parents in whatever little tasks you can do at home. Keep yourself meaningfully and gainfully engaged. Spend quality time with family. I think this is certainly the silver lining in the cloud, because there has been no better time where you could have spent so much time with family, because everybody would be under one roof, but we will not have time for each other. But right now, you're all under one roof, having the time for each other. So ensure that you make the most of it. Schedule virtual hangouts with family and friends. Take break from news and social media, negative information. Don't be glued on to it. WhatsApp message, every day there are hundreds of videos. So you make a choice. What is that you want to watch and what is that you can stay away from? Create an environment of open communication with all the family members and engage in tasks that our family members are passionate about. Each one must be having a hobby. When I'm saying give me time, you should also have one family time together where all of you can come together and do something or engage yourself in simple tasks like simple gardening or something like that, so that it's a shared interest. Because when we are engaging ourselves in shared interest, it is more, it makes you more happier, and it also builds in your resilience. Next one is set family goals. You have to have a clear goal as a family so that all of you are working towards it in the same direction. Then it becomes easier for you. Have a regular schedule for daily routine, as I told you earlier, and try to understand why others feel the way they do. Always we are thinking only from our perspective. Probably somebody said something not to hurt us because that's the way they have looked at the problem or the issue. The one important thing is, the more you try to be empathetic, the better you will feel. So do not keep on trying to find fault with others. Share and practice your hobbies with all your family members and keep away from negative company. There are people who will always be engaging in negative talks. They will be saying, that is it, everything is going to collapse, we are not going to get a job at all, and we don't know how to make both ends meet, the world is doomed. So when you keep on hearing from such kind of people, that will get ingrained in your mind. So you keep away from negative company and always engage in hopeful and positive language. That's most important. And recollect all the happy family moments in your life. In fact, the best way is you maintain a journal. Journal means at the end of the day, you write what all the happy moments you have enjoyed in that day. Like how we have a to-do list. Morning we get up and write to-do list. All this we have to do. So we are putting pressure on ourselves. So to-do list you don't have. What I am saying is, journal at the end of the day. All this happened and I am happy about it. Write it up and keep. And sometimes maybe after a year or so, when you read through it also, you will feel so happy that all these things happened in your life. It might be very simple things also. Finally, be grateful for the wonderful company you have been blessed with. Means company of your family. Family is something which we can always fall back, and they are the ones to support us. So give utmost importance to your family and be grateful and thankful to God for whatever you have been blessed with. In fact, for resilience, gratitude is a very, very important quality that you should have. Being thankful and grateful. The things that I cannot control and things I can let go of. Main thing is adopting self-regulation. There are certain things in life which you cannot control, whereas there are certain things in life which you can control. So you have to know the difference between the two. Like, for example, in this particular scenario, COVID, I can control certain things. So I will focus on those things. The first thing is my positive attitude, turning off the news which is always negative, finding fun things to do at home, limiting my social media. How do I follow the recommendations that is given by the health authorities, maintaining my social distance and engage in act of kindness and grace. So all this you can do, this is within your control. So have the self regulation. If you can control these things, then work on that. But there are certain things you cannot control: how long this will last, how others are reacting to the situation. He is not wearing mask, so that puts stress on you. But can you control? You can only create the awareness. But beyond that, if that person is not doing, you cannot do much about it. So getting worked up on that, it's only going to affect your health. Other people's motives. She said like this probably because. Many times is probably because what we are trying to think of in the other person's mind is what is creating trouble for us. So don't engage in all of that. We cannot have control of what other people are thinking, what is going to happen in future, the actions of others, to follow the rules of social distancing. If others are not following, we cannot do much about it. So all this becomes a challenge. So what you cannot control, let go of, and what you can control, kindly focus on it. Act rather than react. This is also very, very important. Now, I want you to focus on this particular elephant. And if one of you from the audience can unmute and just tell me, what is that you observe of this elephant?
Elephant is struggling to get out that place.
Yes. Yes. Has it been able to
It's having only two
successfully get
legs.
out? Sorry?
Am I audible?
Yes,
It
yes,
is.
yes, please.
It is.
Such a powerful elephant is being tied by a small rope. It doesn't know the power that it can come out of it. So the small thought can be controlling all the power which we have.
Good.
So that's the.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good, madam. Thank you so much. This is a huge elephant and it is tied to a very, very simple rope. Okay. And the stick may be 2 or 3 inches, maximum 4 inches, it will be on the ground. But the elephant is not able to break free. And if you see in that animation also, the elephant was lifting up only the 4 legs and it did not move even an inch of its, hind legs. So it is wanting to break free. So it is wanting to come out of it, but it is actually not done anything about it. One is that physically. Second thing is mentally. What is this small rope for an elephant which can move logs of wood? Means when it can carry so much of weight. That is because mentally it has been conditioned that it cannot break free. Because when the elephant is very, very small, when it is a baby elephant, it will be tied to a rope. At that point of time, it cannot break free. So its mind has been conditioned seeing to that every day. Despite garnering all the strength over a period of time, its mind is conditioned that it cannot break free. Many times we are in the similar situation. One is we do not put our physical strengths on those which we have to act upon. Second thing, we are mentally conditioned that we will not be able to come out of this. And this is a very beautiful example. So one is work on your strengths where it matters most. Have a clear strategy. And finally, do not condition your mind to thinking that it is not possible. In fact, condition it that it can be made possible with appropriate efforts. So that is what we mean by act rather than react. Here, I'm talking about life challenges. You'll be meeting up with family issues, relationship problems, serious health problems, friction at workplace, poor work-life balance, financial stresses, and loss of loved ones. All these are possible challenges, especially during the pandemic. But one thing you have to think aloud is that Does only the occurrence of these events cause stress, or my reaction to it cause increased stress? If you think aloud and you act rather than reacting to the situation by crying, weeping, means without any meaningful productive action being taken, probably you're going to put yourself under undue stress and you can never come out of it. So what should we do? We have to adopt active problem solving strategies. First one is you define what the problem is. You analyze what the problem is. What are the possible solutions? If I have to reach a goal or a destination, it is through path A I can reach. If not that, I have a plan B. If not that, I have a plan C. So identify the possible solutions. Once you lay out all the solutions, choose what is the best solution. Once you choose it, you clearly design a plan of action. This is what I'm going to do. And once you plan, you have to implement it. That is the most important thing. Work on plan of action. Plan your work and work your plan. That is the quote which they always say. This is what I tell for students also. Exam is nearing, you develop a timetable, okay, you jot out, but the timetable remains as it is. You don't follow it. So there has been no meaning in having chalked out on the timetable. So don't go in for that. When you plan for a particular work out your plan as well, implement it. And after you implement, always you have to assess the effectiveness of it, whether this method was feasible, whether it helped you to accomplish your goal, and if yes, can it be replicated in future, and if not, don't bother. Still the learning has been there, that probably this method is not working out because of all these loopholes. Fill up the gaps, plug in, so that you can work on other strategies which will help you to reach your goal. So adopting active problem solving strategies are crucial for exhibiting resilience. Maintain a positive attitude, because attitude itself, as you can see in this picture, is contagious. And if you have a positive attitude, others who are around you, your family members, can also will be able to catch that positive attitude. So have a clear positive view of yourself. Keep things in perspective. This is how I want it and I'm going to work towards it. Be hopeful and don't feel that the whole world is falling down or crumbling down on you. It is not going to happen. There is always hope, and the future is going to be more rewarding than the present. So we all have to wait to enjoy those moments. You have to be flexible. You have to seek support of people. There is nothing wrong in seeking support. In fact, they say you shy, you die. So there is nothing wrong in asking for help in case you need it, and people will be more than willing to help you. Learn from your past mistakes or past experiences. Take clear and decisive actions and accept the consequences. Sometimes we might not have made the right decision, but that's okay. Not everybody can take the right decision always in life. But honor your decisions that you have taken, because you have to understand at that point of time, given those kind of circumstances, probably that was the best decision. So whatever the consequences are, we are accepting it, and later on we are moving ahead so that we will be able to make better decisions and achieve our goal. And don't blame yourself or live with guilt. Some of them, they are saying, I live with guilt. I'm a guilty mother because I'm not able to give my best to my child. I'm a guilty father because I'm traveling most of the time. I'm not able to give my time to the child. No, that's your nature of job. So probably you had been traveling. Right now, focus on no traveling is happening. You're spending time with family. So make the most of it. So don't live with guilt, and be appreciative of all that God has blessed you with, whatever you have accomplished in life. And when I say accomplishment, it is not the designation or the post or the salary you draw, because your success should not be defined by what the society has as norms. That is not the way we define success. Success, each one of you as a student should define for yourself what is meant by success to you, and you work towards it. The more you go in for all these kinds of societal norms, then it becomes challenging, because you might not be able to meet up that. If you're not able to meet up that, again you will feel guilty, feeling low, depression and all that. So please don't go in for the definition of success given by somebody else. You set up your own success goals and work towards it. And ultimately you have to forgive yourself if you have made some mistakes, and you have to let go. And if some others had made some mistake, probably you have to forgive and let go also. I will give you a simple example. Now this is a book, okay? It's a
Yeah, ma'am.
very yes.
Sorry for interrupting. We also have
Yes,
another session followed by an interaction. So,
yes.
I mean, I'm extremely sorry for interrupting. Just wanted to give
Mm,
a gentle reminder. Thank you,
yeah,
ma'am.
because I was told it was 1 hour, so I have another 15 minutes, I thought. So am I to wind up in how many
Yes,
minutes am I?
you can
Okay.
take your time, ma'am, but I just
Mm,
wanted to remind you that we have speakers waiting.
yeah,
Thank you.
sure, definitely. So here we have a book, okay? If I'm going to hold on to this book like this for a long period of time, it is not going to hurt the book. In fact, it's going to hurt me. So here what happens is that the book is heavy. It is not hurting the book, it's hurting me. It is the same way. Unless I let go of it, unless I keep it down, I'm not going to free myself. So it is important that you forgive and let go. Use positive affirmations. Here, when I'm saying, instead of saying all the negative things, I'm not good at this, I'm not good enough, I'll never be smart, instead of saying all this, try thinking, what am I missing? Is this really the best of my work? I can always improve. So use positive affirmations. And here also in the picture, you can see I'm worthy, I'm strong, I'm unique, I'm brave, I'm enough, I believe in me. So all these things you can see when you again and again use positive affirmations, you will feel good about yourself, and that will be a reality, become a reality over a period of time. And you have to emulate the qualities of people with good resilience. I will be sharing this PPT. So the participants, if they are interested, probably, they can get in touch with the organizers as well. Here, if you see, these are all the qualities: self-esteem, learning from mistakes, understanding and accepting their own strengths and weaknesses, self-control, willing to overcome problems, optimistic thinking patterns, social skills, ability to recognize emotions, problem solving skills, goal setting with realistic expectations. All these are the qualities which will be possessed by people having good resilience. So what I want you to do is, when you get back home, you think of a person, need not be, high profile personalities, your own parents or your grandmother or anybody for that matter, whom you think has exhibited resilience, whom you are in day-to-day connect with, either means like it can be your own teacher as well. You can observe these qualities in them, and probably you can write it down. How, through your understanding or your experiences with them, how you have learned the resilience skills that they have exhibited in their life. So when you are able to establish the connect, it will be easy for you to emulate the qualities. So please try out this exercise. It's very fruitful, and it works out well because you know your role model, or you know the person. You're constantly in connect with that person. You're able to observe that person and see how they have emerged successfully despite their challenges. So resilience means optimism, having self-belief, control of self, willingness to adapt and be flexible, solve problems, be emotionally aware, seek social support, and ultimately have good humor. Means humor is one thing which eases out all the kind of stress. So please focus on humor as well. Now, I do have certain research which very affirmatively says that resilience has positive impact. There are 4 important researches. The first one, if you see, is the educational resilience. Of course, in a health emergency situation like this, teachers, managers, and educators, they have capitalized on the technologies to bridge the learning gap. That is an excellent resilience that they have portrayed, and it has got wonderful results. In the same way, in organizations also, if you see organizational citizenship behavior as to how and why employees contribute beyond their defined role, this is a very emerging concept. They have seen in places where they have been teaching them about resilience, and people who have good resilience, they have contributed much beyond their defined roles, and they have, resilience has contributed both directly and indirectly through organizational commitments. The next one is another one where natural calamity, a tsunami had occurred, and the study was done in Tamil Nadu. And here people have reconstructed their lives, though not fully, to a large extent, but after the tsunami had occurred, by sheer resilience. And it is not individual resilience, it is a collective effort. It is through the community coping strategies they have rebuilt their life, and they have prevented social collapse, showing absolute power of resilience. And last one, which I'm going to speak of, is about the mental health. It has been found in psychology, the recent researchers, that reciprocal relationship of higher levels of resilience predicted lower levels of mental ill-being and higher levels of positive mental health. So better the resilience, better the mental health, and vice versa. So if you have good resilience, then you will have good mental health as well. So when I'm speaking of mental health, how aware of you are your mental health? Do you have a sense of contentment? Do you have a zest for living, an ability to laugh and have fun? Do you have the ability to deal with the stress and bounce back from adversity? Do you have meaning and purpose in life? Do you feel that in all your activities, in your relationships? Are you open to learning new skills? Are you willing to adapt to change? Are you able to have a balance between work and play, rest and activity? Do you have the ability to build fruitful and meaningful relationships and maintain them? And finally, do you have high self-confidence and high self-esteem for yourself? These are the questions you have to answer to yourself to check how good is your mental health. Because if you do not have strong mental health, it's going to impact you, and that will impact your ability to bounce back to normal. So how do you ensure mental good health? You talk about your feelings, stay connected, have realistic goals, break up the monotony or the monotonous life that you have, seek help, identify the triggers or red flags which upsets you, practice coping strategies, do something which you are really good at, be kind and take care of others, do not blame yourself for the mistakes, have a positive attitude, of course, eat balanced meal and exercise regularly, take good rest, and let go of your past mistakes. Don't compare yourself with others, accept who you are, and ultimately you have to value yourself. If you're not going to value yourself, who else is going to? So you have to understand, as beautifully said, there is nobody on this planet who is more worthy, deserving, and lovable than you. This is something you have to constantly tell yourself, so that there is the feel good factor and you exhibit good mental health. So you can practice any of these relaxation techniques of meditation, laughing, listening to music, visualizing yourself, progressive muscle relaxation, or engaging deep breathing in case you're feeling stressful. This will all help you to bring back your mental balance and improve your mental health. This is again a relaxation routine which you can try it out when I share the presentation. A simple exercise, just sitting on your chair you can do, and it will help you to relieve your tension. Same way, this is star breathing. This is very simple. All that you can do is draw a star on a paper and you have to follow it. When it goes up, breathe in, hold, breathe out, breathe in, hold, breathe out. You have to do it slowly, and when you follow it, automatically what happens is the breathing exercise will be continuing. You will feel much relaxed. Ultimately, you have to slow down, keep calm, be positive, take things easily, unplug, means breaking monotony, enjoy life, have fun, engage in breathing exercise, relax yourself, and meditate, so that you can have absolute good mental health. These are some of the typical reactions which most of you must be facing because of the pandemic scenario: anxiety, fear of missing out, anger, boredom or frustration, uncertainty, means unable to meet managing, means your professional demands, hopelessness, sometimes even signs of depression, like not feeling good about yourself, not wanting to interact with others, change in appetite and all of that, and a desire to engage in unhealthy or hoping behaviors like overeating, something which is not appropriate, means that's not the kind of coping behavior that you should engage in. If you have any of this, then what should you do? First thing you have to understand is it is okay if you want to take a break sometimes. It is okay if there are certain days when you feel low. It is okay sometimes to feel overwhelmed with things. It is sometimes okay also to feel confused about personal issues sometimes. So the slightest of trigger, I'm not saying you have a serious mental health problem. It's okay to be through all this. And it is also okay not to feel okay on some days. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But if something is not fine and you feel that it is beyond your control, you have to admit that you're not feeling fine. And it is time to speak to somebody, okay, how you feel. That is, I'm saying you have to seek professional help. And when you seek professional help, it is not a sign of weakness. In fact, you're having the strength and courage to seek help to improve your mental state. So it is no more a stigma. Please, students, if you are through any of these challenges, speak out to your teachers. They are the best persons whom you can speak out to, who will be willing to help you. And lastly, a message to the teaching fraternity, as I heard that there are many faculty members here. What I would like to appeal is that maintain strong human connection with students and do not restrict only to remote teaching to impart knowledge on core subjects during this particular period of time. Constantly pass on the message to them that hope matters, that students have to be resilient, give them more support, human touch, emotional connect than the academic rigor. Keep in touch with them through WhatsApp groups. Create community discussion boards so that they can share what's happening. It's like a group where each one shares what they are being through so that they can draw the similarities and support each other. Have virtual meetings, have free conversations during online classes, and also you can have in your own website some creative expressions of students. You can post them and communicate to students, though they are not coming to college every day. Physically, they are not coming. Still, you are there for them and they can reach out to you at any point of time so that you can address their issues and help them out. If you feel it is beyond your ability to counsel them, probably you can refer them, offer them the referral services to other counselors. So this slide is what is the final message which I want you to understand. We have seen what is resilience, what are the strategies. So one thing you have to understand is knowledge is one, but how do you implement it? Whether you have understood the session well, whether you are implementing all the strategies that have been communicated is the key. So the storm is here and there is a tree. Will it bend or will it break? If it bends and then again gets back to its normal, that is resilience. But if you break, you will sink. So be like this tree, despite the storm, despite the difficult times, bend, adapt, cope, so that when the time becomes fine, you will be able to emerge successfully. In every crisis lies an opportunity. So again, when you get back home, jot down, in this pandemic, of course, it has been a huge crisis. What are the opportunities it has opened up and how you have banked and capitalized on that? Make a list and keep it safe, because after a few years, when you get back, you'll feel so good and happy for yourself that you have survived the difficult times and still made it to whatever or wherever you are at that point of time. And before we conclude the session, I have a small prayer which all of us can read and join, because it will help you to be through this difficult time. God, grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you once again for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Subhatra Prabhu, for that excellent session, which was inspiring and motivating. Be it your problem solving strategies, relaxation techniques, or the positive attitude, you reminded us, the task of the modern educator is not to cut down jungles, but to irrigate deserts. The chat box is overflowing with appreciation messages for you, madam. It's indeed a proud
Thank you.
moment for us to have you amidst us. A gentle reminder to our participants. You can type your queries in the chat box and also in the YouTube link, and all the questions will be taken up during the interactive session. And now, as the clock strikes 12, we are here ready to serve you food for thought, and a very healthy food for thought. So now let me take the privilege of inviting dietitian Uma Maheshwari PS, a freelance clinical nutritionist from Vietnam, who is also the founder of Happy Living Online Diet Clinic, founder and proprietors of Enhance Spa from within Vietnam. She'll edify us on the importance of food for positivity, balanced diet, stress management, and immunity boosters to battle the pandemic. Dietitian Uma Maheshwari has a rich academic background and has worked in leading educational institutes and medical centers, having more than 19 years hands-on experience in formulating personalized diets related to medical concerns, fitness, and beauty. She writes articles and blogs on nutrition and health. She specializes in developing and standardizing healthy recipes and has organized numerous workshops and seminars related to health and nutrition. Madam, the dice is yours. You can please take over.
Thanks for the warm welcome. I feel privileged to meet you all on this occasion. And this is a wonderful webinar where you have to spread positivity, right? So let us spread some positivity to food. It's lunchtime there in India, so you must all be hungry. So I think it is the right time to talk about food now. Just give me a minute. Let me start on my presentation. Are you able to see my screen? The presentation screen? Can you see the screen?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. You can please proceed.
Thank you. So the topic is nutrition, the warrior within you. So that it sounds big, the warrior within you. Warrior is a person who's going to fight. So these times, whatever we talk, whenever we say food, we think we know everything. Yes, Indian people did know everything about food, but till we followed our own traditional way of eating. Once the westernization set in, we didn't follow the entire westernization, but what we adopted, whatever we liked and whatever we didn't like, we just left it out. That started creating the problems now. And this pandemic has proved that how important nutrition is to fight against any type of infection, be it mild like cough, cold, or to the chronic diseases like heart attack, diabetes, and blood pressure, hypercholesterolemia, etc. So let's now deal into why do you need food? What positive effects does the food give you? Food for positivity. You need food to give you energy. First time you talk, you smile, you jump, you hear, you listen, you study, everything needs energy. Then to help your body to build stronger, be it immunity or be it like you have got hurt, it's healing. That's also bodybuilding. and teenagers grow into adults at this stage, the college students, then to produce a good amount of hormones and enzymes that's required by the body to function itself, of course, to give immunity, to strengthen. The foundation of immune system is from the food. So to give a positive effect for immune system, you need to eat food. Of course, to stay young, you look young, to enhance your beauty. Beauty products, application and going for the beauty parlor, trimming your eyebrows doesn't enhance your beauty unless and until you have a healthy food for you. So it enhances natural beauty from within and to keep you happy and satisfied. Why is the term satisfied here? See, whatever you do, if you eat a good meal or a delicious food, you automatically feel satisfied. That satisfaction gives you more happiness. So the happiness radiates around you and spreads positivity. So a healthy, balanced diet is the key for maintaining good health and immunity. Your warrior. So what we're talking about food. What is your warrior? So when you inculcate right eating habits, like eating in the right time, eating the right quantity, eating the right type of foods, it not only keeps you healthy, fit, and you're very active, but also it helps your body to defend itself against all the infections, be it as simple ones or to delay or postpone or prevent the appearance of the chronic diseases. This happens by strengthening your immune system. As I already told you, food is the foundation for your immune system. So because this is the foundation, nutrition is called the warrior within you. So how are you going to kickstart your warrior within you? So that is always a saying from the Hippocrates, like food be your medicine and medicine be your food. This is prime importance and has proved 100% right during this pandemic. Now let's see how to make your food your warrior. These are the simple steps which we have ignored for so long, but we need to concentrate. First is selection of food. How do you select? So you need to select fresh ones, and expired ones have to be omitted, little damages and some small worms that has to be neglected. So fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh meat, fresh egg, everything as much as possible, fresh food has to be used. Then cleaning. Cleaning is very, very, very important. You have to wash thoroughly. In case you're very scared, you can just take a huge bowl, add a handful of salt, a little turmeric, soak all your vegetables, soak your meat for 15 minutes, just take it out, wash, then start using it. So this is the safest method to clean in this pandemic situation, be it whatever food may be. Suppose you're cleaning fruits, you can use vinegar because salt will make it very salty. So you can use vinegar for cleaning the fruits. And then you can clean again with the running water, then start using the food. Chopping. So chopping, how does this make a difference? We chop, we cook, and how does this going to make a difference? Yes, it does. See, every food has its own nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. When you chop, the smaller you chop, the more vitamins get broken up. So chop your food into bigger pieces so that it also saves time and also gives you, you can actually taste the food, the taste of each and every vegetable and food and every bite you're eating. So this also preserves the loss of nutrients, thereby enhancing the nutrition content of your food. Then cooking process. So I always prefer cooking process like boiling, steaming, so that there is no much of oil content. Deep frying not only increases the oil in the food, but also kills the vitamins and minerals present in the particular food that is being cooked. So always choose healthy method of cooking. Pressure cooking is also very good because the time is limited. The more the limited time, the more nutrients are preserved. So whenever you cook, try to keep the lid closed so that the nutrients are still inside the food itself, even without being getting evaporated. Then cooking and storage utensils. How does utensils play a role in making your food your warrior? Yes, it does. See, when you use iron utensils, the iron from the utensils, little iron seeps into the food. So the iron content of the food increases. So when you store, you need to store it in airtight containers so that, the germs and the microbes in the air doesn't get inside and the food doesn't get oxidized because of the air. And also stop the usage of plastics. Yes, definitely. Yes, you're hearing me right. Please stop the usage of plastics, because whatever grade plastics you choose, be it the highest grade you choose, the costliest plastic you choose, the seeping of plastics is present 100%. So you cook, you store, because Indian food is acidic. We have curd, rasam, sambar, dal, everything we add a little of tomato or tamarind to prepare it. So when you store it in those vessels, the acidity in the food starts, eroding the plastic contents. I'm not saying the plastic itself is seeping in, but the additives that is added to the plastic is seeping inside the food, and you are eating plastics along with the food. This has shown that the major reason for PCOS in young adults. So kindly stop using plastics. You can use stainless steel vessels, cast iron, you can use glass, earthen pots, and porcelain for cooking and storing your foods. Consuming balanced food to boost your health and immunity. So we have done everything from selection till cooking till storing. Now you have to eat. How are you going to eat? You have to eat in a balanced way. What does that balanced food mean? Is it difficult or is it simple? You might be thinking, now we are running a lockdown, we don't get food, we don't get ingredients, and how do you make it balanced? Yes, you can make your food very balanced. It is very, very, very simple. First, you categorize your entire food into 4 main categories. One is the grains and the millets. All your rice, wheat, bajra, ragi, thinai, kambur, all those come under grains and millets. So these are the foundation for energy, and they give you plenty of B vitamins. The next is entirely fruits and vegetables. This is self-explanatory, and it gives you plenty of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Then you can put it up. The next group will be pulses, legumes, milk, and meat group. I shortly call this as a protein group, because all these 4 things gives you bundles of protein. And the last one is the fats, oils, and the sugars. They are hypercalorie group. So they are also required because fat soluble vitamins are present that has to be absorbed by the body in presence of fats, and it also is needed for the lubrication of the body. So divide the food into 4 different parts, as I have already told you. Then to make your food balanced, the simplest step is pick one from each of the group and see that it is on your plate for every meal. Sounds simple? Yes. But you may be thinking, yes, we are eating rice, we are eating vegetables, we are eating pulses, and we definitely add fats. But there is a small twist. You should know how much to include each one of these. So I have made a plate instead of giving you as a plate. So I took a shape of a thali. So I have made it like, how much to consume. The outer circle is the grains and millets. So this forms the base of the diet. Yes, this is absolutely fine with us. We do have the base. We eat rice, roti, chapatis, ragi, bajra, everything. Done. Then next to the grains and millets comes the veggies and fruits. Are we doing this? It is a huge question mark. No, we are, but we eat veggies like a pickle. It shouldn't be like that. So it is like, if you take, for example, 1 cup of rice, I would recommend you to take 1 cup of vegetables too. So your portion of the rice and the veggies should be more or less equal. Only then you will get sufficient vitamins, minerals, and fiber from the natural source itself. The next will be the pulses, meat, and milk group. So this portion is next step, which means it should be like, when you compare your cereals portion, it should be 3/4 of the cereals portion should, like 3/4 size of the cereals portion should be in the form of the proteins, because they are going to build immunity and give you immense amount of bodybuilding structures to build your warrior within you very, very, very stronger. And the least portion you have to consume is the fats and sugars. Don't avoid fats, you have to include, but in the least portion, not in a too much like deep frying, too much of ghee, adding a lot of cheese, all that needs to be stopped. But adding a little ghee here, little cheese there for the flavor and taste is still fine. But underline, it is very, very, very little. So foods. Now let us see. Now we have designed your plate and seen how a balanced diet looks like. For example, I'll just give you a small example. So you're saying, madam, you're saying so many things. How do we balance? Your curd rice also you can balance. How can we balance our curd rice? Curd rice, I'm just going back. So curd rice, it has cereals and grains, right? Then curd is from the milk group. So you can add that much. Instead of adding a little curd, add more curd to make the curd rice. Then you definitely season using a little fats and, like all the herbs you add to season. Then with the curd rice, instead of going for a pickle, just make a curry out of vegetables. Your diet is balanced. It's as simple as that. You need only to think how you can make the things very simple using whatever is available with you. That's it. See, when you're making chapatis, like when you're making rotis at home, you can take half a cup of wheat flour, add half a cup of gram flour, then make the dough, then you make a vegetable along with that. It is balanced. Very simple. You need not fill your plate, but whatever you eat, when you think that, all these has to come in the proportions, you will definitely make your diet very, very, very balanced. You wanted to have a tasty meal, you're having a chapati and palak paneer. I know most of us like paneer, right? So palak paneer or kadai paneer. In kadai paneer, add a lot of capsicums, then paneer. So you have the protein from milk and you have the capsicum as vegetables, then you have your rotis. The diet is balanced. And even if you take, you're making sambar. So sambar, rice and vegetables, lots of vegetables from sambar. The diet is balanced. It is very simple. You have to emphasize on the quantity. Even the simplest food that is prepared at home can be balanced. Students, if you're having food on your plate right now because it's lunchtime, just check if it is balanced or not. Or else try and make it balanced. Start from today. Okay? So let us now look into specific foods that will help to strengthen your warrior inside. So what do we need, to boost our immunity? Carbs. The next slide is speaking about carbs. Do you really think carbs is helping in immunity building? It's a huge question mark, because I know there are a lot of fads about carbs. Nowadays, the fashion is, I'm going for a low carb diet, I'm going for a keto diet, I'm going for a no carb diet, and for everything, I am depressed, don't eat food. I want to reduce weight, don't eat food. I want to look beautiful, don't eat food. So everything you're cutting down on food, you're cutting down on carbs, thinking that it is going to help you, but definitely not. You know, if you eat the adequate amount of carbs, you are going to look more younger. Please underline this, more slimmer. Okay, so why do you need carbs? So the carbohydrates are the major source of energy. So you are all student, research scholars, and all are working in the offices, sitting on the laptops online. So what do you do? Where do you spend your energy most? It's in your brains, right? The basic requirement for the brain, from where it derives its energy, is glucose. So you need, glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate, so you need immense amount of carbohydrates so that your brain keeps on working. As Madam Subhatra said, it will give you positivity and happiness and positive thoughts. So the carbohydrates forms the basic source of energy. Then the most important thing, I've seen college going students, taking more of proteins, thinking that, I should look more slimmer because proteins give me more and more calorie burn. So I'm going for proteins. So you eat proteins, and even people who are in gym, they eat protein. Yes, definitely you have to eat protein. But if you eat protein without carbohydrates, protein will do the work of carbohydrates. It will not do the work of proteins, which means bodybuilding. So if you want the protein to do its own work, then eat it along with the carbohydrates. If you have noticed properly, even the drinks, the commercial drinks that is available, high protein drinks, carbohydrates are definitely present. Nobody reads the label, so we are not aware. So read the labels and know how much carbohydrates are important for you. Then for health, to fight yourself when you have a fever or cold or any type of disease, you need tremendous energy to fight against those diseases. For that, you need carbohydrates. So yes, carbohydrates, how do you take them? You have to take it in a complex form. Complex carbohydrates not only give you good energy, but also gives you a good gut health. Gut health is your intestinal health, which in turn boosts your immune system. What is the relationship between gut and the immune system? All the diseases starts from the gut. It is a proverb from Ayurveda. So when your gut is healthy, your whatever you eat gets digested properly, absorbed properly, assimilated properly, and metabolized properly inside your body. So that is the 70% of the immune system. The major immune part is your gut. So that is to make it very strong, you have to have complex carbohydrates. So we will, in the next slide, I'll explain you what is complex carbohydrates. So avoid refined carbohydrates such as sugar, sweetened beverages, carbonated drinks, maida, noodles, pasta, and bakery items, all that are made with maida. If you're making anything, you're baking anything with whole wheat flour at home, it is still fine. So we're talking about carbs. Where does this carb come from? What do you mean by the complex carbohydrates? So let me tell you about the sources. The whole wheat flour. Maida is also wheat flour. Whole wheat, the godume, is also wheat flour. What is the difference? Maida is without the fiber and whole wheat flour has the fiber. So the fiber-rich whole wheat flour becomes a complex carbohydrates when compared to maida. So you can throw off the maida and you can use the whole wheat flour. Corns, they have fiber, so they are complex carbohydrates. Red or brown rice, that's very good. Jawar, bajra, ragi, pearl millet, rice flakes, and also the puffed rice. All those give you good quality carbohydrates. And to your surprise, pulses and legume also give you equal amount of carbs as that of the cereals, but they are rich in proteins as well. That is why that is given more importance, and that is coming under the protein division rather than the carbohydrates. Then one thing you can do is But our substantial diet is white rice. We love eating. Even I can't stay without eating white rice. Then how do I make a white rice a complex carb? See, complex carbs is nothing but it should have something. So all the complex carbs are less are digested properly inside your intestine, but the absorption of sugar from the intestine into the bloodstream is slower. This is called as the GI, glycemic index. So when you, instead of seeing as a single food, when you make the meal low in the glycemic index, then that becomes the complex carbohydrate. That is called as the combination meal. For example, a balanced meal which has a portion of rice, white rice, a portion of protein, like for example, say a piece of a fish or a chicken or egg or curd or a dal, and the vegetable, larger amount of vegetables like half cup of rice and half cup of vegetables, all these three together will form a balanced meal. And also this combination meal will give you a low glycemic index and make the simple carbohydrate as the complex one. So when you eat, recommended amount of vegetables and protein along with white rice is also a safe source of carbohydrates. But if you don't eat recommended amount of vegetables, then white rice becomes very high carbs for you. How much do I eat? You're talking about eat. How much do I eat? So 1 to 3 servings per meal. See, 1 serving means, for example, you take anything that can be numbered. 1 idli, 1 dosa. So 1 portion size, it's called as 1. So depending upon your age, you can take up to 3 or 4 max of per meal. So 4 meals, 4 servings per day you can be taken. So like you can take a little in the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and small portion can be taken as a snack. So little by little, if you split your carbohydrates throughout the day, it is going to give you maximum benefits to boost your warrior within you. Kickstart, give it energy, give it petrol to fight against the diseases. Now, building protein. What build protein to build immunity? Everybody must be knowing, right? As soon as you talk about immunity, you only remember the term protein. Why is it that? Because it is the foundation of immunity. All the hormones, the WBCs, the T cells, B cells, all the antibodies, lymphocytes, phagocytes, everything that is present in your blood is from protein only. It is a source, the major source of those cells are protein. So unless and until you eat sufficient proteins, these cells will lack its formation. So eat adequate amount of proteins. Then it also heals the inflammation inside your body, repairs the tissue, produces adequate hormones, adequate enzymes to keep you healthy, to keep you happy, and to keep your immune system very fit for fighting against any disease. Low protein, if you are very low on protein, researchers have proved that those people have very less immune power. So where do you get protein from? Proteins, you can obtain it from 2 sources. One is the vegetable source and the second is the animal source. So vegetable source will include pulses. Pulses are all dals, all dals like tuar dal, moong dal, chana dal, urad dal, all those things. Legumes are the one that comes in the pods, like your peas, soya beans, butter beans, what else is that? Cowpeas, the karamani we call, all these are legumes. Then your soya, that I meant the soya chunks, the meal maker that we get, mushroom and tofu, all these are vegetable sources of protein. Then anything that you get from animal, like milk, yogurt, paneer, egg, lean meat, fish, chicken, all those things come under animal sources, anything that we get from animal. Why do we have to split them? Because animal source proteins are called as protein of high biological value, which means protein of higher quality when compared to the vegetable sources which are protein of low biological value, lower quality. Why is it so? Why is the discrimination? When we say go for vegetarianism, why do we need animal source? Because animal sources, we are all animals. So the protein from the animals replicate us. So it is a complete protein having the all the essential amino acids. So you have to take, 50% of vegetable protein and 50% of animal protein. Only then your protein is complete to survive on a daily basis. I am a vegetarian. How do I take protein from animal source? You have milk, you have yogurt, paneer, cheese. Yes, for college going students. But if you are a diabetic, if you are a hypertensive, hypercholesterolemia, or any cardiac issues, please do not avoid cheese. So all these are considered as vegetarian options from the animal source. So start including those inside your diet. How much? So 30 grams per serving, uncooked. That is the dals, legumes, which are uncooked. 30 grams, if you cook, it will come up to 100 grams. It triples the quantity of the raw weight. Right? So that much of proteins, the proteins from vegetable source should be included. That too, how much? It should be included at least twice a day. Not once, it's at least twice a day. And from animal source, you have to take 150 grams, either 150 grams of curd or milk or paneer or meat, fish, chicken, anything is fine. This is also 2 servings because 50% from each has to be obtained. So sufficient protein will help you to build a strong immunity and your body is ready to bang against infections. Binge on omega-3. Most of you should have heard omega-3, omega-6. What is it? It is nothing but it is a one type of essential fatty acid. What is meant by essential fatty acid? This cannot be produced by our body. It has to be taken through food. That is why it is saying essential fatty acid. So we need, binge means eat a lot. How much? Why should you eat? Because this enhances the functions of the immune cells. Yes, we have eaten a protein, we have carbohydrates, now we have energy, our body can fight, and proteins have produced the cells, like the lymphocytes, phagocytes, B cells, T cells, all are ready. But when you eat omega-3 fatty acids, it enhances the function, which means it improves, it helps those cells to fight more. So that is why you need omega-3 fatty acids. So it is a very good detoxification. Of course, we eat so much, we hear so much, lot of negative thoughts come, everything, affects our body and lot of toxins are flowing up. So you need to detoxify, so you need to eat omega-3. Then you need to treat inflammation. Inflammation is there to each and every individual, right from the newborn till the old age. Every part of life have some inflammation within us. So to heal it in an effective way, you need omega-3. Of course, lubrication of joints. What do you mean by lubrication of joints? Your joint pains, as you get older, you get
Madam?
joint pain.
Madam, this is Dr. Shanti. Sorry for interrupting through this great session. Ma'am, it's just that the time's catching up and we'll have to wind by 1 o'clock and we also have an interaction session. So I regret, but I'm afraid, can you please kindly sum up within 5 to 10 minutes, ma'am? Because we have an interactive session. Hope you don't mind. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I'll run through the slides then.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Great.
Okay. So for lubricating, you need omega-3 and also for managing your stress. So what are the sources? Fish, all types of fish mentioned here. Walnuts, if you take 4 walnuts in a day, it meets the day's requirement for your omega-3 fatty acid. Flax seeds, chia seeds, soya beans, all this has omega-3. I'm sorry, participants, I'm just running through now. Load your diet with vitamin C. So vitamin C is the prime immune boosting vitamin. And you must have heard now, eat vitamin C, take supplements. Yes, you have to take it a lot of vitamin C so that you keep detoxifying yourself. But body cannot produce or store vitamin C, so you have to eat. One important thing that you have to remember about vitamin C is when you cook the foods rich in vitamin C, it gets destroyed. That is why when you say greens are rich in vitamin C, broccoli is rich in vitamin C, I don't consider, because you cook them and you kill the vitamin C. So it gets destroyed by heat and air. And even when you wash it with excess water, because it is water soluble, it gets leached in water. So sources are citrus fruits, amla, all the berries, and other fruits that include guava, papaya, kiwi, and lychee. And veggies, if they can be taken in the salad form, you can take bell peppers, that is the capsicums, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, green leafy vegetables, and spinach, coriander, mint, lettuce, kale, parsley. All these can be taken. And the last one is the sprouts. Sprouts also, you make it at home and eat it raw. When you cook the sprouts, the vitamin C is lost. So please eat it raw. You can add a little jaggery to it to eat it. So how much do you take? Inclusion of 200 to 300 grams of fruits. Any of these fruits will give you adequate amount of vitamin C. Or homemade sprouts, 50 to 60 grams. Please take it raw again. I'm mentioning you. Or these vegetables in the salad form. Next, you need sunshine, the best resume, because that is the source of vitamin D. We are in tropical countries, madam. We have immense of vitamin D. Do you think so? No. Most of them in tropical countries are vitamin D deficient, because we are using sunscreens, we are going in air-conditioned cars, and we turn off the curtains. Even now, I'm pulling my curtain behind because it's too much sun outside. So all this will hinder the sunlight in touching you, and you are getting low on vitamin D. What is the importance? Because it balances your immune system throughout your body. Then it is very important for your muscle and nerve function. You have to have your nerve and muscle function throughout your life in order. So that is very major role of vitamin D. So the best source is sun. The food plays a very meager role in getting vitamin D. You have to expose yourself to sun. How do you expose yourself? Don't go out now. I'm not telling you, but your house, in some part of the day, the sun should come in, right? In that part of the day, just expose yourself to the sunlight without the glasses on, without the sunscreen on, because sunscreen prevents the conversion of UV rays into the vitamin D by the body. The same does by the glasses also. When the sun passes through glasses, then the UV rays is filtered, and your body will not produce vitamin D. So kindly expose yourself just 15 minutes a day to natural sunlight whenever it is possible, within wherever you stay inside your house itself. But if you know that you are deficient of vitamin D, kindly go on health supplements that is indicated by your physician. Water, yes, we ignore. Definitely, I was one like you who don't drink water, but I realized its importance when I started getting weaker. If you get dehydrated, your cells die, your brain doesn't work, and your toxins don't get cleaned up. So you build a lot of negative thoughts. So you need to drink plenty of water, not only to keep yourself clean, but also to build your immune system. How do you drink water? So 3 liters of day you have to drink, but I don't like to drink water. You can take tender coconut, you can take water, you can drink it in the form of diluted juices, because too much of concentrated juices will put a lot of sugar on you. So diluted juices or infused water. What is infused water? Do you see this picture? Just put in a slice or two of cucumber or carrots or apples, cinnamon, mint, lemongrass, whatever you get. You keep it for 2 hours and the water gets its flavor. This makes you drink more water. See, whenever you're working on a computer or a laptop, just put a bottle next to the screen so that you drink sufficient amount of water. You get reminded when the bottle is next to you. If you don't keep it there, you definitely tend to forget. That is human tendency. So take some steps to increase your water intake. Probiotics, this is the most ignored thing, but we have to take it up. Probiotics are living organisms that is essential for to keep the large intestine very healthy. It is called as the gut spa. So you go to your spa to beautify outside. So if you have to beautify yourself inside, then take the probiotics, because largest gut is the largest immune organ in your body. So what are the probiotics? So sources are your curd, yogurt, buttermilk, pickles, kefir, kimchi, kombucha. These are Korean foods. If you like, you can include it, and the fermented rice water. Fermented rice water sounds very fancy, right? Yes, because we have been following it. This is called as palaya sadam in Tamil, and I love eating it. It is very rich source of probiotics, and it is the only vegetarian source of B12. Till now, the scientists have researched that it is the only vegetarian source. So take it as a breakfast at least once in a week, or take it as a daily drink early in the morning, just 200 ml every day. So that will give you immense results, and you will start healing gastritis if you have. And then the magic ingredients that is there in your kitchen to kickstart your warrior are garlic, ginger, and turmeric. So 2 to 3 cloves of garlic a day, and half an inch of ginger per person. And you can use turmeric in cooking all the 3 meals, little. I think that is fine for these ingredients to get involved. Smaller quantities is enough. Don't think that you have to eat too much of these to get the immunity. No, smaller quantities are definitely fine. Unlock your other essentials to keep you strong. What are the other essentials other than diet? Sleep. Yes, now we are at home, so we do the work, we feel tired, evening switch on the TV, and the TV goes on, till we can't say, dash, and sleep late, and then get up in the morning, say tired. Don't do that. Be very conscious. Take good time, because only when you sleep, your body heals. I will be sharing this PPT. So for deeper information, kindly refer my slides. I'm going a little fast. I'm sorry about it. So the T cells, which is going to fight off your infection, it is developed and boosted during your sleep. So you need 6 to 8 hours of sleep continuously. If it is not possible, then you take a small nap in the lunchtime, or not in the lunchtime, 2 hours after your lunch. Then you can, you can split your sleep, but see that you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Workout exercise. Madam, we don't have time to go to gym. We cannot go out because it's lockdown. I'm not asking you to do anything in the gym or anything. Any simple physical activity that makes you sweat is an exercise. That has worked wonders with my family. So we started here in Vietnam, COVID, along with China. So these simple workouts, whatever you can do at home, do it even for 15-20 minutes. That is enough, so that your whole body can, flush through oxygen, so that it gets overpowered. And one exercise that I would recommend everyone is the Surya Namaskar. It has 12 steps, and if you do 12 cycles of this, your entire, from your head to toe, entire parts of your body gets exercised with. It is very, very, very simple. How long does it take? You're saying 12 cycles. It is just taking 5 to 10 minutes only. Who can do? From 4 years to adults, whoever doesn't have a back pain can do. If you have a back problem, please refrain from it. Otherwise, scientifically, it has been proved, research papers have been evolved, that Surya Namaskar boosts immune system and keeps the entire self from your head to toe completely healthy and strong. Psychological health and immunity, I think doctor has dealt with this. So optimism, that is, keep your positive thoughts. Mindfulness, just do something what you love, at least for 10 minutes. Concentrate only on that. Don't think anything else. De-stress yourself. Laugh out. Speaking. Don't see, I'm sorry to say this, but don't watch serials, which relate your problems with them. But, just watch out some comedy, or even Tom and Jerry is fine. Just laugh out. De-stress yourself. Again, psychological health and immunity. I I'm talking about meditation here. If you know to meditate, kindly do 15 minutes of meditation every day. 15 minutes of meditation is equivalent to 3 hours of sleep. So if you know to meditate, just do meditate. Calm yourself down, which is very, 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 very important right now. Personal hygiene, wash your hands, take shower, brush your teeth, blow your nose, which most of us don't do, clip your nails, wash your hands, because these are all the places where germs can stay. So please be very careful, keep yourself hygienic, because people will think I'm not moving out, like it's okay, it's okay. No, keep yourself the hygiene is very, very important now. So please say no to all these: smoking, alcohol, tobacco, and the junk foods to stay strong. Okay, we've seen all this. What is the relevant to the current scenario? Why are you talking about this? To know, we should know what is the WHO recommendation is. See, it recommends for the pandemic, it recommends 30 kilocalories per kg body weight, 1 to 1.3 grams of protein per kg body weight, then healthy fats in small quantities, plenty of vegetables and fruits, and probiotics on regular basis, 8 to 10 glasses of water, eat home cooked food, indulge in some form of physical activity at home, then follow strict personal hygiene, keep yourself calm. These are the basic recommendations by the WHO to fight against the pandemic. So when you start following the balanced diet, putting emphasis on the immune boosting foods, that the WHO recommendations are met. So this is a sample plan that I can share it with you to recover from COVID. Suppose you have by opportunity got into this, you can just go through this diet chart which I have planned, your routine, actually what you can do, what type of exercises, how much of breakfast you can take, what all you should include in your breakfast. If there is a slash, it means an or. If there is a plus, it means that this has to go with this. Like for example, you take idli or dosa or any one of options, and 3 numbers, then you go for 1 whole egg, 1 number. Or if you are saying I am a vegetarian, I don't even take egg, you can take curd, which is at room temperature, 150 ml. This will give you high quality protein, plus cooked vegetable in any form, like chutney, sandwich, dip, or you make upma, you can add the vegetables to that. So this forms a balanced breakfast, plus it helps you to recover from COVID. Then mid-morning, any fruit, then you can stay under sun rays for some time, so that mid-morning sun is the best time to get your vitamin D. Same way I have balanced the lunch. Evening snack, I've given you walnuts or flax seeds or pumpkin seeds. So all these 3 are the major vegetarian source of omega-3 fats, which is very, very, very important, because your entire body is inflamed, and omega-3 will start, de-inflaming the body. Then at the bedtime, I've given you what is called as the golden latte, the modern term. It's like we call it as melagu pal, right? So it is nothing. The golden latte is this: milk, turmeric powder, and pepper powder. You boil it for 2 minutes. Just add a little of brown sugar. If you have panankalkandu, it is the best to be added. Then please take it. If you are a diabetic, cardiac, and heart patient, please don't add panankalkandu, brown sugar, or sugars. So summing up, the bottom line is, follow all the healthy measures that you have to be from the purchase of food till cooking and consumption. Eat a balanced diet so that it meets the recommendations of the WHO. Please do moderate physical activity, follow personal hygiene and stress management methods, and following all these simple tips will bring in health and positivity in all your lives. And this will help you to kick off the pandemic as well. So treat your body right. The warrior within you will fight. I sincerely
Thank you, ma'am.
thank Bharati Dasan Government College of Women, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Mr. Rudra, Dr. Subhadra, and all the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious gesture. You swayed us with your sheer brilliance. Now I hand over the session, interactive session, to Dr. Chandra. Dr. Chandra, please take over the interactive session. And audiences, please feel free to interact.
you can ask your queries.
Thank you, Shanti. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very interesting to participate in the webinar because all the three sessions were very interesting, and I could see the chat boxes. They were very full of messages appreciating the presenters. And right now, I have some three questions. The first one is from Dr. Hamalata, and this question is addressed to Dr. Subhatra Prabhu. Um, what does resilience means to someone with a fragile economic background?
Okay. Now, to thank you for the question. To answer this particular question, we need to understand that in my presentation also I have told you the situation in which we are. That is one part of it. Okay, it can be a fragile economic situation. It can be another kind of a situation. The situation does not directly relate to how we are feeling. Okay, our feelings are different. So a person who is not from a very strong economic background, probably a fragile economic background, they might be below the poverty line, or maybe they would have been doing well because of job loss. The economic conditions are not up to the extent which they were having it earlier. All these might be a situation, but you as an individual, irrespective of the situation, should exhibit resilience. To be very honest, we have seen several research studies also stating that people who are resilient are the ones who are having disappointments in life, failures in life, because they have built in over a period of the time the strength to bounce back. So what I'm answering for this particular question is, situation is one thing, but how you relate to that particular situation, how you build in your resilience and act on it rather than reacting to the situation is all about. So you have to work on it to come out of that particular situation with a positive outlook and hopefulness. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, the second question also goes to you by
Yes,
Dr. Rajni Chanulian.
yes.
Is temper a stress let out? Is it okay to be occasionally lose control?
Okay, this is also a very good question. I want to say temper is a reaction to a particular event. Okay, the event is there. There have been several events in one's life which will cause anger. People do not understand the concept properly. They say if you bottle up your emotions, it will burst out one day. So it is better to let out the temper. But what I am suggesting is you have to channelize your emotions in a positive form rather than a negative form. Temper is a negative form of expressing your emotion because it is a reaction to a particular event. You have to address the cause of the event, why we are getting angry because of that particular event. So how do we work on that particular event so that it doesn't trigger us? It is always said, cage your rage. You have to have a control over your anger, over your temper. You should not let it out because it is not the right way of expression. So what are the other methods by which we can channelize? Best one is communication. Talk out the issue or the matter with the concerned so that it doesn't pile up or build up. Practice relaxation techniques so that you can calm down. And if at all you feel very physically angry, they just say you punch a pillow, let out all your anger on the pillow till you feel that all your unwanted energy is released. These are the strategies by which we can let out our anger, feel relaxed. But the main thing is that address the situation or the event and the triggering points so that you do not get into expression of negative emotions in these kinds of forms. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is from a set of students. They are asking to give some tips to them to get up early in the morning. Ma'am, maybe Ms. Uma Maheshwari, can you please respond?
Okay, that's an awesome question. Tips to get up early in the morning. Yes, first thing I told you that you need to sleep in the night to get up in the morning. Okay, so restrict your screen time like watching movie time. Of course, you want to have a relaxation, definitely, but restrict yourself, sleep on time so that you can get up on time. And as Dr. Subhatra said, please follow positivity. When you have positivity in your mind and you tell your mind that I need to get up at like say 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. in the morning, even without alarm you will be able to get up. That is a small challenge, but still you start practicing, you will see wonders. Eat a healthy meal. When you have your healthy meal, balanced diet, your complete digestive system will be clear before going to sleep, which will give you a good quality sleep, so that you will also get up in the morning. And if you seriously have sleeping problems, I can give you one tip. In the night, you can take warm milk, not hot, it's warm milk, add a teaspoon of honey, mix it properly, then drink it. This will increase the quality of the sleep. So even when you sleep for a shorter time, your quality of the sleep will be good, so that you will be able to wake up early the next day morning. Sounds good?
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I now invite the participants. If you are interested to ask some questions, please unmute yourself and ask your questions. I request the participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask. Ma'am, there is another question. Is it the statement of 4 hours of sleeping is enough for a healthy person? Is it good to a healthy person? It is the question from Dr. Gajalakshmi.
Madam, I will strictly recommend at least 6 hours of sleep, because 1.5 hours is the sleep cycle. So when you have that sleep cycle closed, then you will get up very fresh the next day morning, and your mind functions more efficiently than usual. So better to have 6 hours of sleep minimum.
Thank you, ma'am. And there is one more question. Just a minute, ma'am. I'll ask it. This is purpose of education. How can we attain when we are flooded with overwhelming suggestions from our family and friends? How can I find a path for higher education?
So you have to decide yourself. That is what I was trying to tell. So you have to analyze what you want to do. Of course, your parents or others may help you in guiding, but ultimately you are the person who is going to take a decision. Like for example, if you are buying a bike or phone or something, so you will take suggestions, but ultimately will select one thing. So there is one thing here. Too much of information will be a hindrance. Over information will be a hindrance. So what happens? You have to screen. You have to narrow down to fewer choices, then make selection. So many a time in this information world, a lot of information poses a problem in decision making. See, I'll give a simple example. Let us say you are going to Bangalore. So you ask your friend, so which hotel to stay? You will tell a couple of choices, some 3, 4. So you can easily choose. If you go and browse through some, let us say some website and all, it may offer hundreds of choices. What will happen is you may select, but still you may feel that other one would have been better. So over information is always a problem. So you trust some people who can suggest some better options to you, and narrow down on it, and you just try to understand more about it, and then make a choice.
Thank you very much, sir. And the next question is to Dr. Subhatra, ma'am. The question is, at this time, we are certified on getting triggers from past trauma. What can we do for that?
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
At this time, we are certified and getting triggers from past trauma. What can we do for that?
Yes, if the past trauma is there are several methods and techniques by which you can come out of it. The main thing is journaling. As I have told you, if you can put your thoughts into a paper and you can write it down, journaling is as what I had explained it earlier. You put your thoughts down and you write it down, and after that you analyze the situation, whether it is worth being through it time and again. Because when you are haunted or petrified, or when you are being means choked by whatever has happened in the past, are you able to address that situation? Are you able to address the particular trauma? If you are not able to address, how best it is to let go, because it is impacting your present life. These are the two things. Address the situation so that you feel, yes, that particular event has been addressed, because right now I don't know what the trauma is. For different kind of traumas, we have different ways of handling. The second thing is that if there has been something which has happened in the past, it is important to let go of it, because unless you let go of it, it is going to affect your present condition as well. So either they can go in for journaling, or they can go in for letting go, provided the trauma is more clearly specified. If the trauma is more clearly specified to me, I would be able to suggest better options. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is to Dr. Uma Maheshwari. What food can we intake at the time of menstruation?
Can you come again, please?
During menstrual periods, what sort of food we advised to take?
There is no restriction at all. Please take any type of food, no restriction. One thing is you get a lot of dehydration during your menstruation. So kindly drink a lot of fluids, okay? And drinking a lot of fluids also will keep on the menstrual flow properly. So you need to drink a lot of fluids, eat right amount of foods as I already discussed, balanced food. If you can keep on eating, that's fine. There is nothing specific during menstruation.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is to our director. Sir, how can students can use strategies to overcome pressures? And what do you think teachers can guide them in choosing career?
First of all, what kind of pressure they have?
Maybe the exam pressure.
Yeah, that is basically fear. I think it is
Yes,
fear. So why will someone get fear?
Maybe they may fail in the exams, or they may score less.
Yeah, so I think I have to cite Bhagavad Gita as an example. Lord Krishna says, you do your work. So do not bother about the output. So you have to focus on the process, your preparation. So sometimes results may not be in our hands. Many times what will happen is in life, real life, things may not work in a formalistic manner. So the expansion of formula A plus B whole square. So it may not work in the similar manner in real life. So that is why the ancient teachings say that you focus on the process. So you may or may not get the results, but doesn't matter. You keep trying. Somewhere you will get the result. So fear will come because of unpreparedness. You be prepared, and for achieving that state of mindset, you need to do some meditation, yoga and all. You need to talk to your friends and all. So be social. So it will help you in a great way.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is to you. What do you think teachers can guide them in choosing careers? How do the teachers can guide them in choosing careers?
Yeah, simplest thing is first understand what the student wants. So accordingly, you bring in the things. So even if you don't know something, so we can accept it and we can bring something. See, for example, someone wants to prepare for competitive exams, let us say. So you can bring somebody who is who can guide them, or who can guide them in like numerical ability or language ability and all. So we can conduct some orientation classes which will help the student. And even you can bring somebody from a banking community or some other this thing. So who have gone through this process, they can guide them. So similarly, first you have to identify if somebody wants to become an entrepreneur or do something on their own. So you can bring call some of them. So these kind of interactive sessions will definitely help. In today's session also, Madam Subhadra also gave very good suggestions relating to counseling, and Madam Uma Maheshwari gave good suggestions relating to diet and all. So this kind of thing, which will be routinely deviated from routine curriculum and all, will help them in a greater way. So actually a teacher is a facilitator rather than giving knowledge. So knowledge can be transmission can be facilitated, and sometimes children themselves will be having a lot of information. So we need to tell them and give a framework for them to work on. That is more important.
Thank you, sir. This is just to add on to the same question. Can the government organize any schemes to guide the students to choose their career?
Yeah, ma'am. This year we are planning two things. One is counseling, having one counselor who will be able to talk to students, or the students can talk to them. We'll publicize the phone number and all. If they have any psychological issues and all, they can discuss and get suggestions. That is one thing. Second thing is career counseling. So we need to collect and summarize the information relating to scholarships and various types of exams that are available and the various career options available. And we'll also consult the students, basically need analysis, what the students want, and accordingly we can package it. So these two initiatives we are trying to bring in from the government side.
Thank you so much, sir. And the next question is to Dr. Uma Maheshwari, ma'am. Are all vegetarians the non-takers of balanced food as suggested by you, ma'am?
No, I clearly mentioned if you're a vegetarian, definitely you can include sources of protein such as pulses, legumes, soya, and when you want something from the animal source, you can always prefer for milk, curd, yogurt, paneer. So your diet is also completely balanced. I am a vegetarian, so I always eat a balanced meal.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I request the participants, is there any other question you just like to ask in person? Please unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, let's wind up the interactive session.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Subhadra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
I know a small child. Okay, she's very brilliant. She knows answers for all the questions, but when a question is put to her, she gives a panic look first.
Okay.
Then then immediately her answer is I don't know.
Okay.
And afterwards, when you give her 2-3 minutes, she comes out of the answer. So I see that some sort of question fear in that child. So can you help me with her to overcome of that?
Yes. This is a very common scenario which we have noticed in many children. In fact, when I had been working as a school counselor also, these kinds of scenarios are there. I will just give a brief about this. There is a scenario where when you pose a particular question, there are some children who do not answer for a short duration of time and then they come with the answer. Because what has happened over a period of time is that even when we are very young, because in Indian atmosphere, it's quite competitive and one wants to give the right answer, the fear of being judged is always there. Because who asks the question also plays a very important role. If the child is in a home atmosphere where he or she is being criticized by the parents or compared with the siblings, in case she gives a wrong answer, then the fear is always within the child whether she would be giving the wrong answer and she would be questioned for it or critiqued because of that. So all these things quickly go on in the minds of the child. So whenever anything is being posed, they take that little time to make sure that they are giving the correct answer. That is one thing, even though they are aware of it. This means the fear of being judged and also lack of confidence, where you know the right answer, but when there are 2-3 people around, you simply don't voice it out. This is a second thing which we have noticed. And the third thing is there are some children who speak very well, answer very well, everything at home. But when they come to school, they do not speak at all. This is called as selective mutism. Again, it is the reasons are the same, but these children do not answer at all. So what are we supposed to do as parents and as teachers? It is important to leave the floor open for discussion, where the child, there is nothing like right or wrong. In a child's imagination, there can always be different kind of answers. That's why in school also I am saying, when you give the crayons, if the child is coloring the sky in green, it's okay. Maybe that's the way the child is imagining. We need not sit and put a wrong and make the child color the sky only blue. It need not be there. Child will know. So open up the creativity and imagination of the child. Allow the child to build in the confidence first. Automatically, the child will be able to express his thoughts without fear. I think I have addressed your question,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'll just convey the same thing to her parents. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Dr.
Shanti?
Chandra.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Chandra. That was a fruitful and healthy discussion. Thank you, audience, for being sport, and thank you, resource persons, for your gracious time and patience. I now invite Dr. K.S. Suresh, Associate Professor, Department of English, and the IQAC Coordinator of BTCW, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming together on this virtual venue to deliberate on issues pertaining to education and to life in these hard times. I earnestly hope that Mind Over Matter has succeeded in not only discussing coping strategies, but also providing a vision for the road ahead. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Bharatidasan College, let me thank all those who contributed to this program. First, thanks are due to our principal, Dr. Rajesh Sugumar, for conceiving the idea of this webinar and taking the lead in its conduct. Thanks, madam, for ensuring that the webinar met its objectives stated and desired. We have been honored by the presence here of Sri Rudra Gaud, the Director of Higher and Technical Education, Government of Puducherry. I thank him for his time and for sharing insights drawn from his experience and wisdom. Thank you, sir, also for sharing information on this program with the principals of all the colleges under your directorate. It's a privilege to mention the two alumni of our college who were our guest speakers today. Thanks, Dr. Subhadra Prabhu, for assuring us that it is possible to rebound from challenges, threats, and catastrophes through strategies of resilience. Thank you, Ms. Uma Maheshwari, for giving us some food for thought and for showing us the way to maintaining good health and positivity through balanced diet and exercise. I'm sure we have all started being warriors already. Thank you, ladies, for those wonderful lectures. Dear participants of Mind Over Matter, thank you for joining this meeting with enthusiasm and for interacting with the resource persons. I hope we've been able to make you enjoy and benefit from this program. Thanks are due to the press, print, and visual media for covering the program. It's been a joy working in the organizing team of Mind Over Matter. Thanks, Dr. Shanti and Dr. Chandra, for taking care of the nuts and bolts of this webinar, for handling with Elan its software and its hardware. But for you, the seminar wouldn't be what it has been. Thank you, everyone, once again. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Hope the knowledge and information gained from these lectures will help us mitigate the risks of this adversity and open new multidimensional vistas of hope and positivity. Certificates will be mailed to the participants by May 30th, 2021. So till we meet, Until next time in a similar informative session, this is IQAC BGCW thanking each one of the participants. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care one and all.
കാണാൻ വയ്യായിരുന്നു, ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു, ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Invited the session. Shanti.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Subhadra. Thank you, Uma. It was a great participation. Thank you, Chandra, Shanti, Suresh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
ma'am.
very much, ma'am. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a pleasure working with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Subhadra. Hi.
Thank you.
Ma,
Thanks
hi.
a lot to the organizing team. Thank you.
Regards to your children, your twin children, Uma, Bageshwari, and your son.
Okay.
ചെയ്തു, മെസ്സേജ് മാത്രം വന്നു.
So thank you, Pa. Thank you all.
Okay.
Take leave. We'll be in touch.
Sure,
Oh,
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uma, congrats and thank you. This is Mangai and Shubhatra. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.